Your head has been messed with repeatedly over and over again. Your parents tell you that you have got to go to school and you have no choice. You've got to go to college when you grow up. And they tell you what you're going to go to college for. You're going to go to college to be a businessman. When you're some 5-year-old little boy over in China wanting to play with your trucks, and your parents are telling you you have to go to college to be a businessman when you grow up, when you're 5 years old and you're like, but I want to be a mechanic. I think that child should have the freedom to become a mechanic, regardless of what country that child is living in. But I don't have control over that. My point is that your minds have been messed with. You have been pulled off course. As much as you try to fight it, no, my parents were right. My parents were right. My parents were right. My parents were right to do this to me. They weren't. They weren't. If they themselves weren't following God's plan for their own lives, it wasn't in your best interest. If I had listened to my mother and did what my mother would want me to do, I'd either be dead or in prison. My mom attempted to poison her boyfriend in front of me, and I watched him get sick. I didn't know what to do. I don't remember, 11, 12 years old at the time. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know. And the one person that I did tell was like, oh, well, he deserves it. Wow. Okay. So you're going to play God and say that somebody deserves to have their life taken away from you? Isn't this the root basis of murder mentality? Oh, they deserve it just because they're breathing the wrong air. I've watched a lot of horror movies, okay, and observed a lot of stuff and read a lot of books. Like, I like to read a lot of books. I like to read a lot of books. I like to stay educated. I like to stay very educated about myself, my spiritual path, and making sure I don't make my mother's mistakes, because that got her kidney failure and a trip to hell. Hell is much, much more than the four walls you live in. So, everybody is out there all, oh, my mom's the greatest. My mom wasn't. My mom, she just didn't care. She didn't care. She didn't want me. And she made sure I knew that throughout my life. True, it might be a subconscious choice, but she had the choice to be a mother, and she chose not to be. Maybe my mother should have had the abortion. As much as the world doesn't want me to admit that, she should have. My dad should not have stopped her. And yeah, I'm angry that she didn't do it. I am. I never hated my mom for telling me that she should have aborted me when she had the chance to, and for me learning that information, what it was by the time I was a 6-year-old. I never hated her for that. I disrespected my mother on every level for telling a 6-year-old I should have aborted you when I had the chance to, and allowing that 6-year-old to find out what an abortion is. And then being like, my mom wants to do that to me. And then throughout my life, hitting me upside the head, calling me stupid and ugly and fat, and telling me that I don't need to eat certain things and I don't need to have certain things and I don't need to feel about certain things that I feel about. Like maybe I might buy a new hoodie from Brandon Ferris and I might put it on and it might feel like a hug from Brandon. So I might love it. My mom would tell me, "You don't love it, you just like it a lot. It's just a hoodie." No, it's a hoodie from Brandon Ferris, and it feels like a hug when I put it on. It's the greatest hoodie in existence.